Howdy fellow YouTubers, my name is BobStraitFTW, and today I'm gonna bring you a very cliche video.
Yes, I have fallen into the bandwagon of reporting on supposed netcode fixes.
But before I start blabbing on about netcode this, netcode that, let's get one thing straight. What exactly is netcode? Netcode is the term used in the video game industry to describe how games interact with each other, whether it be through the internet, through LAN. There are many different definitions of netcode, but specifically the one that I'm talking about today is the one in Battlefield 4 that seems to have gone awry. The ability to shoot people around corners and such would be what we call a netcode error. But realistically, this is not just a netcode error. There are some underlying conditions that have to happen to be able to be shot around corners like that. It's not just what we would call the netcode.
But Bob, we're a minute into the video and you still haven't said what the freaking problem is.
Tick rate.
Tick rate, by golly, is what is going on with the stupid netcode right now. But Bob, what is tick rate?
Tick rate is the amount of times that a server will update within a certain amount of time, and usually you hear it in hertz, 10 hertz, and that stands for 10 times in 1 second. Now 10 hertz is what Battlefield 4 runs at, and that is actually so low that if you have, say, the FAMAS that shoots at 1,000 rounds per minute, you can fire off 3 shots within the time that it takes the server to update. So all that damage is applied at once. It's almost like a pulse of damage that happens to the enemy all at once, just all that damage that you did within that 10 hertz, you know, in between like 9 and 10 in that second, gets applied at once in like a pulse formation, and it can be really frustrating on the other end of that because you can go from 100 to 0 in no seconds flat. It is ridiculously fast, and they really need to fix this, and they have been trying to fix this in Battlefield CTE by upping the tick rate, but there are some problems with this. Battlefield is an extremely complicated game to the majority of games that are out there, such as Call of Duty is what we would call a hit scan game. There aren't actually bullets flying through the air. It's, did you pull the trigger on them? If yes, then that was a hit. In Battlefield, you actually have bullets. You have to lead your targets. You have gravity that's involved. You have vehicles that are running around. You have levolution. You have craters that you can make with C4. You have all this extra stuff added to the game that makes it really hard to be able to do that many calculations faster than 10 hertz.
And yes, if there were more hertz, say 30, which is about average,
the game would play much better, more smoother. You wouldn't die as much around corners. You still do have a lag there. You will never ever get rid of lag. It will always be there, and the best thing you can do to alleviate that is to have a better infrastructure on DICE's side so that my connection to you is better.
Not to mention that the game is kind of going against you at 10 hertz because 10 hertz is way too low, and that would make lots of lag. You can get shot around corners, and it's just like, whoa, I don't want to get shot around corners. Why are you shooting me around corners? It's not okay. It's not okay, guys!
So as I've said before, just upping the hertz won't fix the problem. It may actually make it worse because there are so many things that go on in Battlefield that some people's computers can't handle it. And I know that, you know, every PS4 is the same, every Xbox One is the same. I'm sure that they could do stuff on those consoles to make them better, but as I've said, no two computers are the same. Therefore, you have to code for all of these different possibilities that a computer configuration will have to have. You don't have that on PS4 and Xbox One. Therefore, that's why I personally think that the patch for Battlefield to fix this hertz problem will come to PS4 and Xbox One first before it comes to PC, which kind of sucks. But, you know, when you think of it from a financial standpoint and a fixable standpoint, you know, you can see where that would be true. Now, whether this patch will come out within the next month or the next year, you know, we're not going to know until it actually comes out. And as I've said, right now, they're testing it on PC, and it's been going good. Hopefully, it'll come to PC first, so that way they flush out all the stuff before it comes to PS4. But that's why the CTE is there in the first place, is so that the community can test out stuff so that when they bring it to the actual game, they don't screw up a whole bunch of other stuff like they've done before.
Now, do note that I still love Battlefield. I've loved it since the day that I started playing it. It has been my favorite game since the middle of Battlefield 3. That's when I started playing Battlefield, and I do think that the games keep progressively getting better, but they have had some problems along the way. I do think the Battlefield 4 is way better than Battlefield 3 in many aspects, except for the netcode things that go on and you get killed behind corners. That's the only thing out of Battlefield 4 that I absolutely atrociously hate and could probably live without it. Well, I really haven't flipped out this episode, so let me pick something to flip out about. Hey! Sky! Quit being blue! If you made it to this part of the video, please put the words Battlefield 4 is the best game ever in your comment in the comment section below so that I know that you watched the video all the way to the end and are the best viewer and subscriber ever. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helped me and my channel out. That is all.
At the age of 12, after I got past my booger flicking phase, my parents decided to get me a Rubik's Cube. Not the brightest idea.